Hi, welcome to the second segment of Around Your Neighborhood. I am Namrata, host of Off the Cuff on Bali 92.3 FM. This segment is for my social media listeners and viewers and followers, in which I will be talking to publicly elected officials, community leaders about their journey and know more about the city they represent. And today I am so delighted to have Rishi Kumar, council member of Saratoga and a candidate for Congress, House of Rep, representative here with me. Rishi, welcome to Around Your Neighborhood.
It's great to be here. Very nice to be sitting down and chatting today.
Thank you for giving me your Saturday morning. And we are here in Saratoga, your lovely city. You represent that. So before we talk more about, what you're doing, I would love to know your immigrant journey. So all about that.
Well, we all have our stories.
Yes.
And I came to this country as a graduate student of mechanical engineering.
Okay.
And in the East Coast. And I would never ever have thought in my wildest dream that I would be running for Congress. It's been a very, very interesting journey.
Wow. And how long has it been since you came to the US?
I went to school in Connecticut, UConn.
Okay.
And I'm a big believer and follower of UConn basketball.
Okay.
We were the world champions last year.
Oh,
So the college basketball
congratulations. Yeah.
champions. And I really enjoyed watching the UConn Huskies on campus. We have lots of NBA players. And that's how I actually got integrated with the American culture. And made my way to Silicon Valley. Met my wife Seema along the way.
Okay.
And she is, she was in the East Coast. I was working in Detroit, Michigan. And that's when we met. We got married, and then we made the journey here to Silicon Valley.
Okay.
And it's been great. We actually moved here for the innovation economy because she's an electrical engineer from Columbia. I'm a mechanical engineer, but I moved to the software industry.
Okay.
And we felt that this might create a lot of opportunities for us, and here we are.
Absolutely, and doing so well. So, what prompted you to get into public service? Was it just your engineer mind, looking for solutions, or was it planned?
Well, my wife says that I'm a glutton for punishment.
Okay.
And, essentially I'm an activist, and, when I see something wrong, I would say, let's do something about it. In fact, I didn't want to do something about it. I would just
Okay.
look around me like, hey, is someone else going to step up?
Yeah.
And then I realized that everybody was looking at me.
Oh.
So, and I started with a few things locally in the community, in my neighborhood. And everything starts from your neighborhood. And I got involved because there were a few things happening. Our roads had not been paved. People didn't know each other. So I said, okay, let's launch a few things.
Okay.
And it led from one thing to the another. It's sort of, it's snowballed very quickly. And ended up running for city council in 2014.
Okay.
And we barely won with 71 votes. That was the margin of victory.
Okay.
But 4 years later, there were 5 people running, and the top 3 would make it to the city council in 2014. And I finished in the 3rd position. I just barely made it.
Okay.
And then in the next run, in 2018, for my re-election, we actually beat the mayor of Saratoga. And we won with the highest votes in 66 years of Saratoga.
Oh.
And that record still stands today. And the reason why, because we got stuff done, And what I believe is, someone like me from the world of tech, who's worked for companies like IBM, Cisco, we have a unique approach to problem solving. And mechanical engineers are good at problem solving. And being a Silicon Valley geek, that's exactly what I've done. Applied the tech framework to find solutions in the community. And the people of Saratoga saw that, and they trusted this run.
Like you said, you've been in Saratoga for quite some time, I think 20 plus years now.
Yes.
So getting back to the city here, any fun facts or anything about the history of this place that made you stay here for such a long time and feel so closely to the residents and to the city?
Coming from Bombay, big
Yeah.
city, I felt I went to school in Connecticut. I mean,
Okay.
apart from college hoops, it was a very, very boring campus town.
Okay.
And I didn't quite fit in. I liked the energy, excitement. And that was a trigger, actually, that got me involved into politics. So, fun fact, I started an open mic in Saratoga downtown in a coffee shop. And why did I do that? Because I said, let's bring people together
Okay.
to have a little fun. And then let's spend some money in downtown because the downtown businesses were hurting. So it was trying to kill two birds with one stone. You said, okay, let's have some fun,
Yeah.
but help some of the businesses out.
Businesses too, yeah.
And we did that for many, many years. And I made some new friends.
Okay.
And then the senior center came calling. My good friend, Mark Chapman,
Okay.
was the president of the senior center. He and I were chatting one day. He's like, hey, Rishi, we are really strapped for cash.
Okay.
So I said, hey, we have a bunch of performers who show up to our monthly events.
Okay.
Why don't we do a fundraiser? We called it Saratoga's Got Talent,
Oh, okay.
a competition. And the young kids, the young performers, they were raising money for the senior center. The first year we did this,
Okay.
I thought I would fall all over I would just look like a fool because I didn't know how to do these things. But we ended up raising $19,000.
Oh, amazing.
And that was quite impressive.
Okay.
And we did that for many years. We launched the coding programs. We launched Silicon Valley Coders.
Yes.
The state of California appointed me into the California Department of Education Computer Science Curriculum panel.
Oh,
And we
okay.
have rolled out the curriculum for every public school child
Okay.
in California to study computer science.
Yeah, so wonderful. And I think that initiative of starting computer classes for public schools is amazing because, kids coming from affluent families have easy access to STEM, while obviously, so it's leveling the ground for all. And what I read was that the median income of the typical household in Saratoga is 224K. So what issues can the residents face with, because like you said, it's an affluent community, more on that.
Yeah, so I think one of the challenges we have is crime. There are burglaries happening here.
Okay.
And if you look at the reason why we won with the highest votes in 66 years, we took on crime as a challenge.
Okay.
And the thing is, I'm a little bit of a maverick because my colleagues and my city council said, Rishi, that's not a problem we can fix. People need to take care of their own self. And I didn't agree with that. I said, if people's homes have been broken into, then we can do something about it. So I launched neighborhood watch programs. I had over 100 neighborhood meetings in about a year,
Okay.
bringing people together, sometimes at a coffee shop, sometimes at Togo's, sometimes at a park, sometimes at somebody's backyard, talking about safety.
Yeah.
And we dropped burglaries by an incredible amount. From year to year, we were at 112 break-ins a year.
Okay.
And one break-in is one too many. And we dropped to 69 break-ins, a year-to-year
Okay, so
drop,
it
which is still the highest
Quite
drop
high, yeah,
of
but
any.
still.
It's the highest drop of any Silicon Valley city.
Okay.
That record still stands. And why? Because we took charge. We took charge of an issue, and we said, let's bring people. Let's inform people. Let's create the framework for them to connect, communicate, collaborate. We put cameras. We started having block parties. When you see a problem, it's okay to stand and watch,
Yeah.
but it's better to engage and do something about it. So burglaries are a problem. People feel very lonely here. Bringing people together to have these block parties, letting neighbors know each other.
Yeah.
Now, housing is a big problem here.
Yes.
The state is actually intervening and they are preempting local city council. There are lots of challenges in our city.
Yes.
And,
Okay.
and there are challenges in a congressional district. And what I can tell you is we are able and capable to address a lot of them. Yeah, that's what we do.
Okay. And you had the water pricing issue also.
That too,
that
yep.
was
So people were hurting with
involved.
water, very super high water bills.
Yes,
And San Jose
that's what I
thank
heard,
you for
yeah.
that prompt. San Jose Water Company has been gouging the residents. And their profits had gone from $22 million baseline to $52 million in a drought. In a drought, they had actually jacked up their profits. And that's when, once again, I tried to work with my council, But they said, Rishi, we don't have jurisdiction over San Jose Water Company
Okay.
because it's PUC that has it. I'm like, and that was, I was very early on in my city council, and I was still trying to create an impact.
Yeah.
I said, if people are hurting and their water bills are so high, and seniors are crying over their water bill, I said, we need to do something about it.
Yes.
So I started a mechanism to send out protest emails to PUC. Very simple. You know, I mean, I'm not a really smart guy. So you come up with simple formulas. We started that. And next thing you know, we have rejected, reduced, suspended 10 water rate increases so far, saving, you know, 1 million residents of Silicon Valley.
Wow.
So you took a platform, you look at Saratoga as a city of 30,000,
Okay.
but a platform is a
Yes.
tremendous thing, and we took that platform to help out 1 million people of Silicon Valley. And that's really the trigger, the impetus to run for Congress, because people started saying, hey, we can see you as a problem solver,
Yeah.
take these ideas, energy, approach, innovation out into a congressional seat.
Congressional seat.
And we have never had a tech-savvy leader ever in 1 million years of Silicon Valley, and we're going to fix that.
That's amazing, and you did well in 2022 elections. You received a historic 42.2% of votes. So
Correct. And nobody has
against
ever
an,
achieved that. Yes.
incumbent who's
And
pretty strong.
yeah, the incumbent
And
spent
actually-
3 times more money,
Okay.
and nobody had ever crossed like 25, 30% ever in the history against the incumbent. And we have obviously exceeded expectations of people.
Okay.
You know, we actually expected to win, but it was a very, very low turnout election. Next year is a presidential election. It's going to be a
Yes.
high turnout election.
Yeah.
And we are raising money fast and furious, and we believe that next year is going to be our year.
Yeah, you don't give up easy, and that's a great
That's
quality.
the mentality of a startup innovator, right? You have to keep
Absolutely, I
at it.
can see that
Yeah.
you're, you have that spirit. And now coming to an issue, a recent, issue. You are an elected council member of Indian descent. So, what are your thoughts on the recently horrifying and tragic death of Janvi Khandula in Seattle?
yeah.
What
Yeah.
needs to be done as far as police brutality goes? Because I think police training, there's a lot to be done there.
Yeah.
But I would love to know your views on that.
Yeah. So I think during some of my interns, they join our team. We have a very thriving internship program. We had over 2,000 students who have joined us.
Okay.
And I would get a lot of pressure to defund the police. Like, Rishi, can we defund the police? The police are evil. And I don't agree with that. And I would push back on that. Because, if you take the police, you take out the sheriff
Yeah.
from any community, you will find, law and order that will go amok. We can't have that. It's an essential component of preserving a community, preserving the safety of a community. So what I believe is, in fact, it's a policy in my website. If you search for this, you'll find it. So what we talk about is reallocating funding. So I believe the police in Seattle needs some cultural training.
Absolutely.
This is a graduate student of, I believe the school is somewhere else, but it's got a branch in Seattle. It's not,
Okay.
it's not the University of Washington. I forget the name of the school. And, the police department of Seattle needs some cultural training that you need to treat immigrants with respect.
Yes.
But it's also reflective of the change that needs to happen with our Indian American community.
Okay.
We are all very productive. We are part of the economy. We emphasize education. We are raising good kids, and our intentions are very, very positive.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we have to get involved with issues that are happening around us. With Janvi is a classic
Yes.
example,
Yeah.
and I hope that Indian Americans across the country will coalesce and take action on this one, and also express the voice. Sometimes I feel we are a shy community where
Yeah.
we don't like sticking our necks out. But I think it's important because if we want to ensure the future of the next generation of Indian Americans, you and me, Namrata, we need to take charge. And that's really the trigger. Like I remember talking to one of the council members of San Jose a few years ago. I was in the planning commission of the city of Saratoga. And the guy says, Rishi, why don't you run for city council? Like, no, it's not for me. I'm busy,
Yeah.
I have a day job. It's very difficult for me to find time. And then he looked at me and was like, if you don't do it, then who's going to do it?
Yeah.
And that's what I will, if anybody's watching this, I tell them, if you're not going to do this, why do you expect someone else around you to do it? And we have to take charge. We have to step up for the next generation.
You need that passion, you need the drive, and you just need to believe in what you're doing is right.
Yeah.
I think that is important. And I'm getting a lot of petitions around January. So I think just signing petitions is not enough.
It's a good start.
It's a good start.
Taking action, because it's all about taking that first step.
Yes.
Because people tell me, how did you solve the water challenge? What did you do with burglaries?
Yeah.
I had no idea. All I did, Namrata, was took that first step. Do something, do anything, but take action. So signing the petition is a great first step, but do something beyond that.
Beyond that,
Yeah.
also maybe call officials and maybe
Yeah.
raise the subject of
Go to the
police
city council
training.
hearing. Go to the city council
Absolutely.
hearing in the city of Seattle.
Huh.
Go and express your voice. Now they have Zoom sessions. You can just join in wherever you are in the country. You can join the city council meeting in Seattle and express your voice.
Express.
Make change happen.
Absolutely. Thank you for your views on this. And now about your family. So how does your wife and kids influence the work you do?
Well, both our boys are great coders.
Okay.
And they're constantly working. They provide the IT support that a campaign needs.
Okay.
And my wife, she is doubly from Colombia. She's probably a million times smarter than me. And we team up quite well, because she takes charge of aspects of a campaign that would fall apart if I was trying to lead. We have been blessed. We have professors from Stanford, we have technologists, we have CTOs and CEOs who are part of our team.
Yeah.
And Seema is there basically sitting in the periphery, but helping out wherever it's needed. She knows she's quite aware of the strengths and weaknesses of a campaign. In fact, people in Saratoga know that, Seema is the reason why we have succeeded with all the stuff that we do. In fact, we organize the Saratoga Dandiya that my wife has been organizing for the last, I would say, 12, 13 years.
Okay.
And she does it almost single-handedly with a bunch of our friends.
Okay.
They come together and we have 1,000 people. We could easily have 2,500 people in West Valley College, but we make it a nice quality event. So we have 1,000 people, and we love that gathering, right?
Yeah.
And we have run Diwali programs
Yeah.
and the coding programs here in Saratoga. When we run these coding workshops, the community center fills up with like 250 kids.
Oh,
I mean,
I've
it gets a
heard that.
massive turnout. We just did one with ChatGPT. So to do all this, there are lots of moving parts, and I'm just happy to have a wife, Seema, who leads charge.
Oh yeah, wonderful to hear that. And we say it takes a village to raise kids, and a community need to come together. You need to get involved.
My kids, though, they look at my political run and they are like, it's like, what is my dad doing? And I would say they are agnostic to it. They sort of like look at this and it's probably not their cup of tea.
Yeah.
But they know one thing. They know that, I really enjoy this work.
That's all you need to, yeah.
I'm much more happier doing this. And so when I make an ask of them, they readily comply.
Yeah, and they see the work that you are doing, and somebody did tell me that you, in 2014, you established the Saratoga Hindu Temple in a church. So
Yes,
you
in
did a
2011.
2011, okay.
Yes.
It said
Yeah, we started the Hindu temple.
So,
We approached
from
the
there
church
to
members.
here, it's
They were so accepting. This is America. It's so beautiful.
Amazing. That's
so
the
beautiful.
best part
They said, yes,
about
come in
America.
and use our facilities as
See?
long as you like.
Yeah.
And we were running like yoga programs,
Yeah.
Hindi classes, Bollywood fitness.
Yes.
We ran Diwali celebrations. It was awesome to start that in a church. And then now, we moved to the community center. We started having events there. In the pandemic, we sort of tanked a little bit. We are looking to get back to action again. But it's a great story, This is how we have built community here in Saratoga. Just yesterday, I met somebody who moved from a different part from Silicon Valley. And he said, the reason, Rishi, I moved here is because of the work that you have been doing here. You have really brought the community together. And I wanted to partake that social network that you have established here. I love hearing such stories.
Yeah, and that's the best part, about America. They are, it's a place made by immigrants, and everybody is welcome here, and that's wonderful to know. you did talk about, starting volley classes and all. So coming to that, what's your guilty pleasure? And would you like to maybe sing a little bit of volley song
Oh,
here?
yes.
You did start a
So,
karaoke night or something.
Yeah, it's interesting because when you remember you talked about the open mic in the coffee shop in downtown Saratoga.
Okay.
So I ended up becoming the event MC because somebody had to run the event and people were sitting there, line up, somebody had to moderate.
Okay.
And we would have like 30 performers on the list and people would try to jump the queues and all that stuff. So I was the bad guy. I would be like, look, guys, we have to follow that sequence. And so I had to moderate the thing. And then I started experimenting. I said, okay, let's crack some jokes. And then what happened was my wife and I, we started doing this song and dance routine.
Oh,
And that would be the finale for the evening. We said, guys, if you stay back, we have something new planned. So we would sing a song, then throw the mic and dance to the tune.
Oh,
And in
okay.
fact, there are some videos still on YouTube. And we did that, and it was just so
Good
very fun.
Yeah.
And then when we did the Saratoga's Got Talent, we would perform on the big stage. And we were so blessed that people didn't throw tomatoes and whatever at us. But we had fun doing that. And it created a different component of life. Yes. And even last night, there was a big party. And I took the mic and you sing a few songs and
Okay, I'll pass another rain check then.
Yes,
Love
rain
to
check
hear
for
you
sure.
again.
Yeah.
So, lastly, any mentors or anybody who's inspired you in your, in the work you do?
Yeah. So, unfortunately, it's been a lonely path because when people look at you, you don't fall in that mold of a politician. And, to an extent, nobody gives anything to you on a platter. And when run for city council, it was an extremely hard-fought run. So to give an example, when I was running for city council, we would hustle. I would go knocking on doors. Seema would go knocking on doors. We would talk to a lot of people. And then someone else would say, no, I don't need to campaign. I'm just going to show up.
Okay.
And but for a minority like me, you have to really hustle because people don't expect you to be a city council member or a member of Congress. So it's a fairly lonely sport. At the end of the day, as a minority, you have to fight 10 times harder to find a spot. But the story is very simple. If you're not having a seat on the table, you're going to be on the menu. And I don't want to be on the menu. So, this is my story, right? It's not like, people opened up doors and welcomed and said, hey, Rishi, come on in. You can be a delegate of the California Democratic Party. You can be an executive board member. Unfortunately, the world doesn't work like that. You really have to step up and find your own groove,
Absolutely. And, takes a lot of courage, a lot of hard work, and a lot of networking, I'll say, to do what you are doing. And, it's good to have diversity and grassroots level politics. And only then, I think issues can be solved. All I'll say is that.
Though I think, with Seema along in this journey, I mean, she's bright, she's articulate, and she really cuts to the chase. She understands the issues, and it's made my journey a lot easier, a lot better. And plus, having her in the background, I can go out and take a few risks here and there, It's been phenomenal.
You make a wonderful team then, working together is what more can you get? And listeners, this was Rishi Kumar on Around Your Neighborhood. We're sitting right here in the beautiful Saratoga. He was only 21 when he stepped off a packed red bus.
I'm still like 28,
Passport in hand, and ran towards the American consulate in Mumbai, and now he is running for Congress. So go check out rishikumar.com and know more about his work. Thank you, take care, be well. Thank you, Rishi, for being on Around Your Neighborhood.
Namrata, thank you so much for spending your Saturday morning talking in fabulous Saratoga. We'll welcome you again, hopefully soon.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you, Rishi.
All right.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Bye.